Welcome to today's MJ News Digest, November 15, 2020. It's good to be back. How you doing? Here are today's headlines. Karma train stops for Bashir, Neverland Stolen. Paris Jackson stuns music industry, Brit tabloids bash MJ again, and MJ tops the rich list. So our first story is, it's the Karma train, and it stopped for Martin Bashir. He's got himself into a whole heap of trouble, hasn't he? This is something that the MJ fans have been talking about for fucking years, that Bashir used underhand tactics to get to where he is. So at the moment in the UK, there's an investigation with the BBC and Martin Bashir as to how Martin Bashir managed to hoodwink Princess Diana to be interviewed. It was that groundbreaking interview where Diana talked about affairs and just kind of crumbled the royal family. And of course, it was the Diana interview that Bashir used to get Michael Jackson on board for the Living with Michael Jackson documentary. So that's all over the press at the moment. And to begin with, I think it was like last week, the BBC closed ranks around Bashir and said that Bashir was suffering from COVID. He was very unwell in hospital. And then he was photographed picking up a takeaway and buying some wine. So yeah, much like they did with Savile, the BBC are... it looks like they're covering things up. So anyway, this article here talks about how Bashir spent 8 months working with Michael Jackson, and it was a ratings hit, and we all know what happened with Living with Michael Jackson. And it says here that Jackson later complained to the Independent Television Commission and the Broadcasting Standards Commission about his depiction in the show. So like I said at the beginning, this is something that us as MJ fans have known about all along. It'd be interesting to see how this story pans out. I don't think there's going to be any justice whatsoever. As I said, the BBC are going to close the ranks. Bashir is going to get off with everything. But anyway, it's good to see the Karma train has finally stopped, or made another stop. So our next story is Neverland Stolen. Rapper allegedly trespasses to film a music video on Neverland. So this is the rapper Bashir, is that how you pronounce it, with his song Hood, and then in brackets it says Neverland Ranch. Have you heard the song? It's not my cup of tea, to be perfectly honest. The video, I guess, is quite good because it gets us MJ fans seeing Neverland again, but of course Neverland will never quite be the same without Michael Jackson. But it's interesting that they're saying that apparently Bashir was able to film a whole music video before the security guards managed or realised what was going on and put a stop to it, and asked him to delete his footage. And of course he didn't delete it, the cheeky little scamp. I don't know. I think that's bullshit. There's no way that the security guards surely are going to miss a music video being shot on Neverland. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, on to some better news. Michael Jackson's daughter Paris stuns the music industry with her latest project. So this is from Paris's Instagram, where she put up some reviews from various publications and websites in the music industry. And of course, this was in response to Paris's debut solo song and video, and of course the album has been released now, Wilted. Have you heard the album? It's beautiful. It's not my cup of tea, it's not the kind of music that I would normally listen to, but I've pretty much been listening to this album on repeat. It's definitely evocative of a mood. It's quite a beautiful piece of work. I think Paris sounds absolutely gorgeous on the album. I think the songwriting's top notch, and the producers have done just such a great job to create this mood and the feeling of when you listen to the album. If you haven't listened to it yet, please do. It's called Wilted by Paris Jackson, and it's available on all good streaming platforms. So here in England, the Daily Mirror, a Brit tabloid, have gone guns blazing for Michael. They've released some pretty horrendous articles recently. This recent one, sexist Michael Jackson was dumped by secret girlfriends for being impotent. Apparently he's from an interview with bodyguard Matt Fidesz. We've covered Matt before on this channel. This morning Matt went onto Twitter and completely refuted this and said that he didn't speak to the Daily Mirror. Who knows what's going on? As I said, this is just one of many of recent articles. The most recent one before this was Michael Jackson ex Debbie's grim account of being inseminated like a mare. Really horrendous. And there was other stuff about Michael's children. Not pleasant at all, but it makes me wonder why the Mirror has all of a sudden, like back-to-back negative articles about Michael Jackson. It kind of feels a little bit like when Leaving Neverland first came out. So on to, I guess this is good news, Michael Jackson tops the Forbes Rich list. So Michael Jackson has topped the list of the highest paid dead celebrities of 2020, moonwalking ahead of deceased celebs such as Monroe and Elvis Presley. At the time of his death, he had sold over 750 million albums and was amongst the most recognisable megastars on the planet. His enormous wealth has continued to build even in death, with Jackson raking in a staggering $48 million this year. Not bad at all. Do you see what they did there? Not bad at all. It then goes on to say, quoted by Forbes, the 2019 release of the damning documentary Leaving Neverland didn't cost the King of Pop his crown. Jackson's My Jack music catalogue, which includes tunes by Elvis and Aretha Franklin, and a long-term deal with Sony, account for more than 70% of his earnings. It goes on to list the other people in this top 10. But Forbes also say the King of Pop streaming actually surged despite recent controversy, 2.2 billion US spins, up from 1.8 billion a year ago, with proceeds flowing from his My Jack music catalogue, a Las Vegas show and a long-term deal with Sony. He retains his post-mortem cash crown for the 7th consecutive year. So as I said, I guess this is kind of good news, but I just wish Michael Jackson wasn't on this list, because I wish Michael Jackson was still with us now. So on to our YouTube recommendation of the day. It's not a video, it's a channel. It's Danny Oliver's YouTube channel. It's been around for a while. Danny includes footage of himself rehearsing and also footage from his live shows as one of the best Michael Jackson impersonators. But just recently he's been switching his content up, so as well as that he's also been including some Michael Jackson clips. We've got the Michael Jackson Moonwalk Circle Glide, MJ rehearsing there, Michael Jackson The Greatest Spin to Knee Drop Ever, I'll Be There Pepsi ad, and the Zombie Dance number from Thriller. So it's good to see Danny changing up his channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'll be linking the Danny Oliver YouTube channel in the description. And that's it for today's MJ News Digest. Thank you so much for waiting. I really appreciate your patience. Please like, comment and subscribe, because the best is yet to come.